Um, let's see. I think we got most people right. You got the rest, Daniel?
Yep.
Okay. All right. My name is Michael Falato. I'm your host. I have a company called GTM Full Throttle. It's basically a go-to-market strategy architecture platform solution that does email, LinkedIn, Roundtable, Masterminds, podcasts. I do this to kind of give back to the community that I sell to because it's a great way to talk about what's working and what's not. So what I've been doing lately is using a tool called Fireflies, which you guys will see that's recording here. I don't, this is not a client or a partner or anything like that, but what I noticed with the Fireflies approach and the note taker approach, that it's kind of an internal approach like the Chat GBT and Gemini and even Claude to figuring out what was said on that particular appointment that I had and rounding off what I owe the person after the call. So I'm using that a lot to actually figure out what I need to do and what I owe them and not spend 2 hours building that whole outreach after the calls to make sure that people know I listen to them. So it does a really good job for me for that. And then I also kind of ask it to go through all my calls over the last couple of years and say, hey, am I missing anything? Is there any meeting that I should be following up on? I also put that into Claude Cowork as well, and have figured out how to use that with Claude and figure out like what am I missing? Because I don't know, I can't remember things every day anymore, just because I've been doing this for so long, and my sleep apnea is kind of screwing up my memory as well a little bit. So that's kind of who I am and what I do. I kind of want to throw it to people that want to raise their hand in chat. There's a raise hand thing on Zoom, and it's talk about a strategy, tip, tactic, what's worked, what's doesn't. Don't make it a commercial, please. And this is either you lost and learned, or you won and learned, or you found a really cool AI tool. Obviously, if you're in lead gen or go to market strategy and stuff like what I do, please don't obviously pitch against what I do, because this is the roundtable that I produce. But I'm happy to produce roundtables for you all too. I'm going to go to a friend of mine that's I've been talking to for a while. That's that Sean Walsh, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us kind of why you joined the roundtable and some things that you've learned tactically in the last 6 months that you're like, wow, I really got some good ideas here and I want to share it with the group.
Hey everybody, I'm Sean Walsh. I'm from Unified Infotech. We are a digital transformation company. I was thinking about this today, and I was thinking, what are some things that are kind of real takeaways? And especially with AI, I was thinking, that when we, work with a company, for example, a lot of times people don't realize how expensive AI can be to be integrated into a system, and they jump right away to thinking they need AI, they need AI, they need AI, when oftentimes it's not really AI that they may need. They may need some automation. There's other ways around it before getting to AI. So I was thinking that happens more often than not, the AI rave and then just seeing different ways of approaching it that will save money. So I was just thinking about that. That actually almost occurs with every client we work with. The saving of money, not using AI, and the different approaches that you can do. So,
What do you think
and
of what do you think of the whole thing of the credits and keeping track of that? What's the best way to not get like a surprise bill, you think? But yeah.
Well, the way we work with clients is we look at different models, right? So people don't realize that one model might be more expensive than the other. So we always look at if they are using AI, if we do need to integrate AI, what is it that is needed, and what model can we use that is delivering what they need without spending too much.
Mhm.
People don't realize that different models cost different when they are integrated into systems and running. So
Do you find a particular one that's more expensive or less expensive or better or more efficient at what you're trying to do on your side?
I guess it all depends on what we're building, what we're doing. But on the just think of it on the higher end models that are out there,
Mhm.
they cost more. And when you're running scale, when you're scaling systems, it gets very costly.
Awesome.
So yeah, nothing specific I want to point out, but in
Okay.
general.
Alvin, go ahead.
So,
We can't hear you, man. Can't hear you. It might be your speaker. I don't. I mean, your mic.
let me, is it better enough? You hear now?
It's very low.
Oh,
We'll go to Chris, then we'll come back to you. Hey, Chris, you're on mute.
Well, let me lower my hand and turn on my mic. All right, thank you for taking me on. I just wanted to elaborate more on, when it comes to, selecting tools, and I don't want this to sound like a pitch, is that there is a new platform out there that has the 130 plus LLMs all on the platform itself. And when a prompt is asked, it says, okay, who is the best to answer this? And at the least number of tokens can I use to answer that, right? So, we've come into a stage in our world where we don't have to say, should I buy Chat? Should I buy Claude? Should I go with Perplexity? Should I go with Grok? When you have a platform that houses all of them,
Mm-hmm.
and you can turn on and turn off, which if you just want to use Chat Claude for one thing, then turn off the other ones. I wanted just to introduce that it's out there, that there's alternative ways for getting things and managing tokens, where you can actually say, okay, I've got a project I'm looking to do. This is a summarization of my project. How many tokens is it going to take to do this project? And do I have enough tokens for that project for the month? Right? Because you're right. Because sometimes you get hit with a bill from Claude saying, oh, you're going to need X number of tokens to do this, and it's an extra $17 or things of that nature. And then the other challenge you have is in the professional services space. How do you calculate the use of? We now have another worker, and it's AI. It's an agent. It's something that you have that has margin attached to it. So in order not to lose that margin, how
Yeah.
do you capture that, right? So that's all got to be measured as well.
And what do you do, Chris?
I'm a fractional executive, and I deal with a number of startups. One of which is the platform I'm referring to, which is called the Hive AI platform. We're more than happy to share a link for
Yeah,
people to
please.
take a
Yeah,
look at.
please put a link in it. What's it called?
Hive, the company's called Hive Point Group. They're
Okay.
based here out of Orlando, and the
That's
Hive.
one.
Yeah, I'm at them there too. So
Yeah.
the Hive AI platform is the actual cognitive, security first, SOC compliant platform that instead of having to attach my files, it already knows my emails. So I could turn around and say, get me the last 10 emails from Michael. And with regard to the proposals I have, go into my proposals folder, pull this out, analyze BHSQs in QuickBooks, and give me an analysis based on our forecasting out of HubSpot. So it breaks down the silos of where data is stored.
Uh-huh.
So now you don't have the walls; it just collects everything all at one time.
Cool. Let's go. Alvin, is your mic fixed?
Thank you.
Still can't hear you. Can't hear you. Yep. All right. Let me go. He's frozen now. Let's go to Pete. We'll go back to you one more time, Alvin. Now, I just want to introduce Pete here because he's a special friend of mine. He was my CRO at JobVite Telemetry, and he has a really awesome platform called GTM Heroes. So check him out. He's someone that's really helped me through my life, and I just wanted to throw out a special thank you to Pete. Go ahead, Pete.
Well, good. Now I don't have to pitch GTM Heroes. I think what I wanted to hit on here, though, I think is very topical for everybody, is I think we're all probably facing the same environment from multiple lenses within each and every day, even context shifting from call to call. We've started this meeting with probably some of you are very skeptical of AI and AI in the workplace. Some of you are .ai, like go-to-market heroes, and you're leading with the potential here. And most of us are probably conflicted day in and day out related to producing your own AI supported content while also hating AI spam. And every single person I interact with right now is facing this ongoing personal identity slash social identity slash corporate identity crisis, whether they're aware of it or not. I myself create a ton of content supported with AI to create quality content. Yet I go to a farmer's market and I see a little mom and pop shop with a really slick looking one pager brochure on their stand, and I go, "That's AI slop." Or I see it on Facebook or whatever it might be. And I'm playing both sides of that card. And I just want to call that out for everybody because as Michael talks about, what are you doing to have AI help your business and what's working, what's not tactically, strategically? The thing that I'm finding here right now in this weird point in time where we all realize there's great potential and people are falling on one side of the fence or the other or being two-faced like I just described in my personal experience, have that effing conversation with people. So if you're talking to prospects, you're talking to customers, you're starting an engagement, have this very real conversation. Where are you with AI right now in your work, in your personal life, and how you interpret it, on how quick you are to hit AI slap on the new LinkedIn feature? Start your conversations there. And what you'll find is you'll be having a very real human connection with the person you're talking to about how to thread both of those dualities that we're all trying to face all the time right now. So I just encourage everybody to take a step back in order to have that conversation. And you'll find your days being much more productive at actually applying whatever it is you're doing with AI or whatever your customer or prospect is thinking about doing with AI from a very human, okay, let's be vulnerable, let's be positive, let's be negative, let's just do the human thing, which we can't get out of Cowork or GPT or any of the others yet. And oh God, help us when we do.
What would you say the coolest, quickest tip that you can do on Claude Cowork that you showed me as well?
My favorite these days, particularly when dealing with executives, founders, uh, anybody with a C in their title, is to do a traditional like 2 or 3 minute super high level executive discovery slash assumptive discovery conversation related to their revenue, since that's my domain. And then we follow it back up, kind of taking what Michael had alluded to there in a subsequent call by just taking the transcript from that call, throwing it into Cowork to say, let's do a couple quick prompts that we can paste back into that executive's connected Cowork environment and watch the truth ring out as opposed to the stories they've been telling themselves. And it's another one of those human moments where they say, okay, I've been feeding myself this line of bullshit. Sorry, I cuss a lot. I've moderated myself twice already here, though, so I feel good about that. I've been feeding myself this line because it allows me to sleep 5 hours a night instead of 3 hours a night. But my data and the truth and those things that I've been kind of brushing under the rug come ring true. Or rarer yet, will come back from those outputs that are connected to their CRM, that are connected to their call recordings and the rest. And what it is that they felt like was real is actually real there in the data, and we can double down on it. So I just say that because you can have that very real heart to heart with yourself just by writing down what are those 3 things that I want to believe in that may or may not be true, and then go to a connected MCP environment and ask it to validate what you just said off of your recorded calls, off of your CRM, out of your Gmail, whatever you've got connected from that big data perspective. And all of a sudden it'll be like looking in the mirror, and then you can go run with execution.
Thanks, Pete. Bill.
Hi, thanks for inviting me here. I can't figure out how to lower my hand. There we go. So I'm Bill Van Emberg. I have a strategic marketing firm, Van Emberg Marketing, and I truly love helping entrepreneurs with just all aspects of the business strategy. It's a lot of fun. I'll give a shout out to the UT Lowell Entrepreneurship Center. Great place. I mentor there, and it's just awesome dealing with the students and young startups that come through there.
UT what? I know University of Texas, but it could be Tennessee.
Oh, University of Tampa.
Tampa. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, but so I have a blast with that. But some things that Pete said, and one earlier person brought to mind some thoughts. I've been doing so of course a bunch of work with AI in the marketing space. Also, I've been doing development work with Lovable and talking with some other people doing similar kinds of work. And the biggest thing that stands out is AI is a junior employee, junior developer, junior marketer. So you can tell Lovable, for example, to go off and find the interface to some program and write the interface, and it comes back and it works and it's awesome. But then you'll ask it to build something and it makes the stupidest architectural decisions in the world. And marketing as well, same thing. It's a junior marketer. If you give it the strategy and you give it the message you want it to expand on, it can run off and do good things, but you do have to kind of check every word because there'll be something dumb in there. So it has been very helpful to me in saving time, but it definitely at least the stuff I've been doing doesn't run on its own without human guidance, and I think that's where the real power of it is. AI doesn't replace your marketing team, your developer, your whatever. It lets people who know what they're doing work better. It does not help people who don't know what they're doing produce good stuff. So kind of referring back to Pete's AI slop. Um, and I also wanted to
We're not
give
coining that, by the way, Bill. It's not Pete's AI slop, okay?
your conversation about it. Sorry about that. That's right. Your stuff, I'm sure, is not slop. But I also wanted to give a shout out to another company that I've done some work with, no relation myself. I do referrals from, but no relation, called AI for Business. If you haven't checked them out, you should. Really good um, training available. And they're another company that lumps together a bunch of the AIs out there into their own tool as a portal to it, so that and so they're my AI geeks that tell me if I'm writing copy, use Claude. If I'm doing research, it's either the paid Perplexity Sonar or it's Grok. If I'm different things, they've already figured out what's currently best for it. So I don't get my thrills checking AI benchmarks. So I just let them do that stuff for me.
Thanks, Bill. I want to introduce Lance. Lance has also helped me build this roundtable and has been a really good friend to help me. Basically, we use both of our LinkedIn to make this, almost 50 people today. So I just wanted to say thanks, Lance, for being a partner. And Lance, what's something that you can kind of enlighten us today about something you've been using that helped you with your business, or something that didn't work and that you want to make sure we kind of forewarn us?
Yeah, Michael, thanks. And thanks everyone for joining too. It's great to see such a good turnout. And I've enjoyed Michael's in my inbox in LinkedIn, reaching out to people, and it's been great and great conversation started. I've been using agentic AI on looking for buying signals. And there's a number of vendors pushing this kind of idea now that they're able to scrape a number of things, press releases and mergers and acquisitions notes and that sort of thing. And I had a call from one in Europe yesterday, a startup, and she said our predictions have been 43% accurate in the last 60 days. I thought, wow, there's an interesting number. She just gave me 43%. And she showed me the data that they're tracking and scraping. And basically, they were then trying to predict when a startup would add, let's say, a chief engineer or chief marketing officer, or when they're going to go to market. And so I've been working with two other vendors, same idea, very hit and miss. A lot of them were very optimistic at the beginning, saying, we're going to generate 5 to 10 conversations probably every month for you. That hasn't hit. But I love what Michael does too, in the ability that we're able to get out to thousands of people very quickly, gather some interest. And then I think things like this, these conversations and networking, I've got more business out of word of mouth still after getting to the right people and picking up the phone. And I've had several phone calls this morning with vendors and a couple of clients. And it's still the best way. When you can finally get to the phone call, it's meat and potatoes. Things happen much quicker. Nobody wants another 10 emails.
Yeah.
That's been my experience.
I mean, if you think about what I did with Lance, I basically took his LinkedIn, my LinkedIn, said, hey, we're doing a roundtable. Now I'm doing it weekly. He's had 20, 30 different meetings just because I took his LinkedIn and said, let's offer your people a roundtable to come to this. Like, I've been a good portion of the people here today because of Lance. And it works. So if you think about why I do this, this is my own intent data, my own signal data. I'm saying, hey, I want you to be on a roundtable. I think you got a great background. Would love to chat with you maybe beforehand, maybe be on my podcast. The whole idea is I want to do the roundtables, I want to do the podcast, but I want to get to know somebody. And if you do that, that's your own intent data and signal data. And then you scrape other events of who's going where and what they're doing. Or I even did one saying, hey, are you going to inbound for HubSpot? I haven't been at the conference, wanted to see what your thoughts were. 600 responses, 45 meetings of a conference I never went to, right? I just wanted to ask their opinion. Ask someone's opinion, give them something versus ask business date, just like you would if you were single, and say, I wouldn't go up to someone and just throw up on them, tell them who I am, and overwhelm them. That doesn't work, especially if people don't want to be sold to. So I'm very much an expert in this space. Think about like doing these roundtables and podcasts yourself. It's not gonna offend me if you guys start doing that. But if you want my help, I'm here for you as well. But this is a great way to get to know someone without just trying to sell them something. So, hey, Sean, is your partner on this call? Saps? I can't hear you.
Saps is not on today.
Okay.
Andrea is on the call. She's our client solutions director.
Hi,
Not
Andrea.
Saps.
Nice
How
to
you
meet you.
doing?
All good.
I wanted to make sure we got you in here as well. Tell us who you are and something that you did or you learned in the last 6 months, 6 weeks even.
Sure. So I'm with Sean at Unified Infotech. I'm the director of client solutions. And yeah, AI has been the biggest challenge. And when I say challenge is to define when to use it or when not to use it. And also how to communicate with our clients, how to clarify with them the best use cases, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
the biggest challenges right now.
And
So,
which
and yeah, following what Chris was saying, one thing that we also do when we assess if we will use AI or not is really to understand the process that our clients have. How can it be improved before using the AI?
Mhm.
Right? Because if you have a bad process or a complicated process, AI will only bring more confusion to it, right?
Yeah.
So if the process is optimized, we can use AI only on the steps that are really needed. And that way we will make sure that we will use the less tokens possible and use the tokens really to build tools.
And which platform are you constantly using right now?
It really depends, as Sean was saying. We have multiple different projects. Like sometimes we use hybrid solutions. Sometimes we are using Claude, ChatGPT, like the main ones. We are using most of them. But depending on the problem we are trying to solve, right now we have a big problem in hands. We are using like a mixed solution between an OCR using AI to collect data from different PDFs, like hundreds of different PDFs. So we are using an hybrid solution, again, to minimize the using of the tokens, but really depends on the solution we're trying to solve. And as I was saying, like we are also implementing an AI chatbot. And one thing that we did before implementing it and following what I was saying about the process, we try to understand what is the reason why people access this chatbot the most. So before directing our clients to the chatbot, what we did is we made sure that all information was available before taking the client to the chat. So making sure all the FAQs were there, all the information is detailed, and like the most asked questions, we made sure the information was there, big and visible. So we minimized the use of the tokens.
Yeah, I actually started using Delphi.ai to do like a digital twin of me. And so people could ask me questions when I'm not around. And then I started using it for my kids who work for me as well, who are 20 and 22. I'm like, ask him because he can answer you anytime, you know? So it's been really helpful to kind of use things where they make sense, but you still need the human aspect of things. And you got to make sure that it's also represent you in the right manner and make sure that you don't try tricking people believing that they're talking to a real person. Be very authentic and ethical and transparent. Otherwise, you're going to lose someone right away.
And also you need to have your data really well structured and clean. If your data is not clean, you will not have a clean outcome. And you can even be training your AI in the wrong way, right?
Yep.
So that's another
Yep.
important step.
Thanks for your time, Chuck.
Thank you too.
Hey, Michael. We actually, so we have to work with enterprises that have challenges in like just their network and identifying where all their circuits are and things. So we've actually built a couple jobs and programs within Claude code that actually scrapes, and I think Andrea was just mentioning this, it actually scrapes thousands and thousands of invoices for data that then helps our customers. And it really helps to create a true ROI. Because I think whenever we deal with an enterprise, I think that the word ROI, depending on who you're asking, can be defined in very different ways. We define it very simply in terms of dollars. And so we've leveraged the use of Claude in particular to create these projects within code that allows us to take their data and create hard-coded ROI that we can then measure. So from a relationship standpoint, we're not speaking hypothetically. We're actually speaking about real-time information that we've pulled from them to create their ROI, which just helps us in our business. But from a marketing standpoint, we use it sparingly. But we do find that using AI just for some real-time applications that we can really build and configure for them has been really important for us because it just takes what would be endless amounts of time and compacts it to how long it ever takes you to build that agent within Claude to make it work. That's something that we've been doing, and it's been very successful, I will say, in that sense. It's only as good as the data you put in, but as long as we put in good data, it's been very successful. Customers and the enterprises that we work with really enjoy looking at that because it's a way to measure success by actual information.
We actually have a roundtable coming up for garbage in, garbage out data. You know, that wording. It's in my Luma link. Just so you guys know, I also posted this in the chat. There's a paid media console roundtable we have after this. I'm doing this for a client of mine called Immediately. So if you guys are into paid media, it's a good one to join as well right after this. Melinda.
Hi, everybody. I'm so excited that my schedule allowed me to join you guys this week. I work specifically with Fortune 500 brands that target the small business market. So I'm always looking for tools that a major corporation could leverage as a value add, as a gimme to small businesses. And I just came across a tool 2 weeks ago that I think is the most amazing AI tool that I've seen since chat, and it's called CoFounder AI. And basically, what this tool does is it gives the small business owner an unpaid co-founder, right? No equity involved. And this is like a brainstorm partner where you talk to it and you don't type, you literally talk to it. So you can pick the name, the gender, whatever you want. So his name is Marcus. So I talk to Marcus and I say, hey Marcus, this is what I'm working on. This is what I'm struggling with. And he like pushes back, like, well, Melinda, have you thought about this? Well, I don't know about that, and like, because they sectioned it by categories of business. So
Awesome.
I own an ed
Well,
tech platform, for example, so I can click on it. But here's the cool thing about it. So there's all these companies out here that want to build you an agentic employee. CoFounder AI has 6 agentic employees built into it. So after I get done talking to Marcus, Marcus then assigns whatever agentic employee I need to go execute it, and then they get back to me when they're done.
that's a great idea. I mean, that's just like one of those things like, damn, I should have thought of that one. Because
Right.
you're going
But
to ask AI about stuff, but you're not getting specific
this
enough.
tool is cool because it can, like, if it doesn't like the output of one of them, it fires them and gets the next one to do it and do it better. And then when I wake up in the morning, they send me an email with the work everybody's done.
So
I mean,
is it based on certain people, or is it, I mean, you're not hiring a certain person, you're basically hiring a persona of a person, right?
yeah, so basically you get the one tool, like you're talking to this main tool that's like, consider it like your AI project manager, right? So
Yeah.
you're talking to this tool, and then he says, I'm gonna get Andrew, Cindy, Lucy, and Sue, and they're gonna do da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. We'll get back to you, Melinda. And then when they're done their work, I get an email with a whole summary and all their materials attached to it. I personally tried to build my own agentic tool with Codex, and it was a nightmare inside chat myself. And when I found this tool, I was like, yes. And now I have corporations, banks, people looking at this tool to give it away for free months to small business owners to help them build stronger businesses. This tool is cool.
This ain't your company, right?
No. It's not my company. But listen, I want to call them and ask if I can be on their board. Like, I think this is going to be the next.
Yeah.
Like,
where are you based? Philly?
I'm based in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
I wonder why. Let's see.
Listen,
You couldn't tell by the t-shirt.
Go Birds
The Eagles.
and go Eagles. Y'all know King James just came to Philadelphia. We're going to have 2 championships. I'm going to be more obnoxious when it happens. I'm just letting you know.
Hey, Melinda.
Hey, go Birds.
Y'all see what it is, right? Y'all see what it is. Anyway, so yeah.
Let's go to Edwin. No, I just want to let you know, Edwin and I are doing a roundtable coming up that's almost like a PhD approach. Tell us a little bit about what we're doing, Edwin.
Yeah, we're going to talk about GTM and knowledge graphs, giving AI context, but at a very high level. So it goes beyond very simplistic AI architecture. So we're going to talk about that and how companies are making money, essentially utilizing some of these more advanced data preparation tools. That's what we do. Like, so my company does that kind of assistance. We're vendor agnostic, but we help companies with technical implementations. I'm in the UK. I'm Dutch originally, but yeah, Michael and I met, and we're going to do a roundtable on Thursday. So I don't want to talk about knowledge graphs too much. Just show up on Thursday, and you'll know everything about knowledge graphs you want to know. But then, yeah, AI, man. Like, I've been talking to a lot of CTOs, tier 1 companies, the last couple of months, and a lot of folks are trying all kinds of different things. Of course, there's a lot of challenges, a lot of limitations, what people can do in the tier 1 companies, because there's just a lot of regulations as well. So yeah, we're trying to look for on-premise solutions also. So it's not just in the cloud stuff. On-premise solutions are necessary for some companies. Also creating synthetic data so that we can even run the pilot so that they can see what the tech does before we implement it on-premise. So it's a challenge, and it takes ages, right? Like, it's enterprise deals, so 6 to 12 months, 24 months, or longer sometimes. So anyway, that's the world I'm in. So if you're interested in that, I'm happy to chat with you if you want to talk about some advanced AI architecture.
Awesome. Thanks, Edwin. I put the link for our roundtable in chat as well. Puria.
Hi, everyone. I'm Purya Shamai. I'm a licensed real estate agent, and I'm a founder of Property Search GPT.ai. I've been running a real estate media company for several years. So I've worked closely with hundreds of agents and thousands of property listings. Property Search GPT.ai is an AI powered real estate search, an evaluation platform launching first in GTA, Greater Toronto Area. And the idea is to let people search for properties using real life criteria in plain language, then help them evaluate those properties through tools like price estimation, renovation visualization. We do have like AI renovations feature and commute-based search and investment analysis.
What's a solution tech strategy that this is what today is supposed to be about? Is more of a what did you learn overall?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this is me, and then so on this journey that I recently, a couple of months ago, I launched. What I have learned on our SEO, which we focused a lot on it. I figured the just using AIs to publish any articles and blogs onto your website, it doesn't necessarily work. It doesn't really pick up by the AU on any of those AI platforms. And what have worked for us, it was just purely you need to write it yourself or someone in your team, and it has to be a person that actually writes it other than being generated by any AI tools, because that will be eventually picked up, and then you will get more ranking on any of those big platforms such as ChatGPT and Claude and other ones to suggest you rather than having hundreds of articles published every day onto your website, and that's not gonna really work. That's actually what have worked for me, and yeah.
Thank you. Alvin, did you get your mic fixed?
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I was using if it worked before, but it's not working today. My
Yeah.
apologies. I wanted to mention that you could use benchmarks, but somebody's picked that up already. Because like large companies like Microsoft or AWS, they have benchmarks
Uh-huh.
that can help you pick the right tool, the right AI solution for a particular problem. So that it will show the costs of what the tool specializes in. So by using benchmarks, you can pick the tool better than just your personal experience. That's what I wanted to say.
What company you work for and where are you based?
So I'm based in Leeds. The company is based in Leeds. We I built a case management system that also includes an AI solution. I'm a computer expert. Uh, so the case management system handles case management end to end essentially. So most companies would tend to use like email, a CRM, um, a phone to handle a case. Those are three different tools, and sometimes even more tools. So our solution it acts as all those solutions as one, and it's got AI, a chat agent built in. It's a software solution.
Awesome. Well, thanks for making it. I'm glad your mic worked. How about Alex? I've never heard from you, I don't think. Alex Sagato?
Yes, hi everyone. Well, I'm with Sales Acceleration. I'm a fractional VP of Sales, so I'm using a variety of tools. So same Fireflies and like KnowledgeNet AI, like and others. Like I also use Claude quite extensively, like in my day-to-day work, right? So I want to echo, and somebody suggested that already, that I was talking to a bunch of customers, just recently about the use of AI, right? And one important thing that came up is that if you're working with a customer whose customer base is relatively small, there is a huge caution that needs to be exercised using AI outreach methods because people, at least, like at this time, I don't know if it's going to change in a few years, but at least at this time, people, especially in high positions like CEOs, presidents and such, they don't react very well, understanding that they are being tasked for an AI agent, right? So I personally came in like with it for my own business development purposes. Like I do use, AI, like as a helper to write the messages, right? So, but I also follow up, like with the call, like, or, like even modify the email, like, or LinkedIn outreach myself. Not specifically to kind of to put like some grammar errors, so to kind of to trick people to believing that it was written by the actual person. No, but to actually check that against what I know about the person. Like I actually recently wrote the small article on LinkedIn about my own experience being contacted by someone, who actually in the same field as I am, to outreach to me and kind of completely misplacing, like where I am, what I do,
Yeah.
and ignoring the
AI
feedback.
slop. AI slop.
Well, it wasn't even the AI slap, right? So it's like that was the original one.
Yeah.
And when I replied to that saying, well, I'm actually not in manufacturing as the AI slap suggested, that was completely ignored. And then another AI slap just came in,
Oh,
right? So yeah, so it's like was kind of like interesting to experience, right? So and obviously, like I'm not, like if I were like somewhere close to what that person was looking for, I would not be too inclined to actually reply to that. So in other words, like coming back to the initial idea, like if you have a kind of like virtual unlimited customer base, like, and you happy with like with a million outreach methods, like with 1% of them working out and the rest 99 potentially being burned forever. So, okay, so that's the currently when that AI methods of outreach could be used. For smaller, I typically recommend to my customers to kind of to use AI on the background, but not to leave it to the especially automated outreach methods.
thanks, Alex. Auburn, you want to add something else?
Oh yes. But because AI is quite recent, it's like 3, 4 years old. So there was the excitement of telling everybody about AI that was necessary because everybody needed to know about AI because it was a revolutionary idea. But at this stage where we are, I think it's very important for people to understand the big AI solutions like ChatGPT or Anthropics. They're often designed for general purpose functions. So when you hear AI, it's most of these big large language models, they're not trained on particular data. So it's it's like for example, the AI that is in my software, it uses your company's own data. So it's important for people to understand that it is preferable to to either use a context to feed to your AI in order to get more accurate information. So like you can use ChatGPT, for example, to get general answers about like life, like the football results or anything like that, write emails. But for anything that is specific to the company, it's best to get a built-in tool or use the context to get more accurate answers. But also, AI queries, they cost money and they pile up. So sometimes you may not need AI. Sometimes you actually need, just like somebody said, you need an automated solution. Because if you have a code behind, it's much better than actually using AI. Because every time that you're querying using AI, you're paying.
Yeah. Thank
Yeah.
you.
So.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let's go to Jay Patrick.
Hey everybody,
Hey.
nice to meet you. Thanks for inviting me. My background is data analytics, AI, and regulated industries. For the last 3 or 4 years, we've been kind of helping companies in insurance, pharma, finance, figure out how to innovate because of all the rules and regs that they have to kind of operate under. My recent learning, so we were at a conference in April, got introduced word of mouth, kind of as Michael indicated in the beginning, from a previous client to a new prospect, very senior in that organization. Did some demos for them there at the conference, started talking to them about how we could help with their projects. Been engaged with them about 6 weeks or so. We're kind of headed down the buying journey. We're talking commercials, and some other senior execs had come into the process. I kind of thought that I mean, they were very enamored by us. Felt like we were the trusted partner, and then it kind of paused. And you always wonder, like, well, if they're not talking to us, they're talking to somebody else, type of thing. And then we ended up with another consultant that was injected into the process to kind of help them make the decision. And so I've been spending a lot of time over the last week or so reflecting on that, trying to be introspective about where did we lose the sale and lose the process. And I'm not sure that I completely understand that, but one thing that I know is that I think we spent too much time talking about the product, the solution, the business problem, and not enough time actually mapping their decision-making process and who was going to be the economic buyer and who was in charge of the decision. And it was you know a rudimentary level mistake that I should have caught, and somehow I glossed over it. I got excited and enamored about the process and the conversation, and so it was a reminder to me just that I've got to always kind of be diligent about really understanding not just what they're trying to do, but how they're going to and why they're going to decide to buy it. So it was a big learning, and I'm still sore from it.
Yeah, the consulting last minute. Hey, I need you to talk to Steve. Wait, now we're starting over. Now he has his most favorite nation. So you never assume, in my opinion, as a sales guy, that something's going to close. And I've been like, well, what's going on here? But just keep in mind, never closed till it's never closed till it's closed.
That's right.
Yep. How about let's see here, Alexander Evans. You there, Alexander? You're on mute.
Hey, it's going to be difficult for me to talk today. I'm getting my roof fixed, and you hear a bunch of banging in the background.
Yeah, we don't hear it based
Oh, you
on
don't hear it?
no.
So I spoke before. I am a go-to-market strategist for a founding company based out of Dubai. So I build well, I can hear it. I build teams
Yeah.
and across the United States of America in the AI space, security space, observability, full stack space. So I like this because I get a chance. I saw my good friend Melinda talking. We both out of Philly, so I'm gonna hog that up. But I appreciate what you're doing. This is phenomenal, Mike, and I'm always enjoy the call. I just reached out to several people on LinkedIn, so this is a great way to network and kind of collaborate. So I do appreciate all the different diverse people you bring on, so we can learn, grow, and see if there's opportunities where we can help each other out, far as business development, far as clients, and building each and everyone's own brand.
Yeah, definitely always try to refer business to each other, give each other referral fees. That's great. I mean, selfishly, I do this to get my name out there and hopefully get referrals or clients from you, one to one even. But instead of just telling people I do go to market and lead gen, I do these types of roundtables, masterminds, podcasts for my clients, for myself, because you do get these discussions that you normally wouldn't get because people are not feeling the wall of what do you want, man? So Gita?
Yes, Geeta. Hello, Michael. Hello,
Hi.
everyone. Great to meet you. And this is the first time I'm attending like the whole conversation on AI and other platform. I know majority of you are well equipped with how AI works and all. But one thing I wanted to, excuse me, address today is every organization is using AI, but are we properly auditing what exactly these employees are using, because we cannot just simply throw the AI tool to make them more productive, but also auditing time to time can help us to save data or privacy issues with the organization. So that is something we implemented in our organization. So what we have been doing is, even though we are leveraging AI tool to make some of our work automated, we tend to review who is using what data and to what extent. And also we have minimized using certain browsers in the laptop because we don't want to fall under any issues when it comes to technical or privacy. That is one. And one more thing I would like to address is, during my process, as I'm very much engaged in LinkedIn. So one of the things that we can do in Claude is we can use Claude to audit our own LinkedIn profile to make sure, how it is working, whether it is, for the visibility. So that is one of the reason I created my boardroom brand, where I help C-suite executives to have that visibility, because I know they are busy in their day-to-day life and they are not able to even showcase who they are. And now visibility really matters, social presence really matters. So that is one of the reason I created that brand, as I learned myself that my profile was not working that much and it was not justifying what I'm giving back to the community. And lately, as I open the service in my LinkedIn, I have been getting more projects, and I'm doing a freelancing volunteer work. So I'm supporting other leaders to start my business, where I help them to revamp their LinkedIn with the help of course, by auditing the profile. So that is something I do, Michael. And
Yeah, I would suggest if you look at like my LinkedIn, I get a lot of compliments on it just because of what I do and how I do it. But it has a little bit of flavor of my background, what I do. It has even like my jiu-jitsu on there, my kickboxing, I'm a veteran. Make yourself visible, not just as a robot. Like I see people that have no background that says VP of sales. What? Who like look at the profile, go, who cares? So what? Why are you telling me this? How is this going to benefit me? And that's everything that you produce: email, LinkedIn, roundtables, messaging, PDFs, website. Don't make it like I just do this, right? Make it do a TEDx approach. Like we do this, I help this, and here's who I am. Especially if you're a solopreneur or entrepreneur. I mean, obviously, if you're a part of a company, then you really got to figure out like how to make it work and do that. But anyways, I have people about to join this next roundtable, so I'm gonna let you guys go. Feel free to stay on. We're gonna start doing the paid media consult with my friend Andrew, who was at Immediately, and he basically does a programmatic advertising console roundtable. That's one of my clients. So I'll say goodbye to you guys on this call, and then I'm gonna get off and come back on to start a new Zoom instance. Okay. All right. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Michael.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Michael.
Thanks.